I want a meat bush. It's like, you know, steaks in the backyard.
I would like a meat bush. Like, Aaron doesn't tell me we're doing shit, so I wore like a shirt that's like just floppy and like that it just dangles. It's just bouncing around. Christ knows what that's doing to the sound quality.
I had a split in them. Because I didn't.
Because who's down there though? Like, you know what?
Well,
like,
it only pokes out if I sit down.
Right.
So
and like honestly, if someone's like, again, what are you expecting to see? Like, I'm gonna look at that guy's groin. I wonder what's going on there.
Hey, he's got a dick. Funny that.
Hey, a lost Da Vinci fresco. It's like, no, that's not down there.
Yeah, bro. Okay.
You know, I'd probably have noticed.
Yeah, because like these pants split a while ago, and my partner sewed them up, and they must have split again because it's like they're like board short material. They're not gonna really sew together that well.
Yeah, board short material is weird moon fabric. So like, I mean, honestly,
I'm really upset because these are like my favorite pants because I got these from the US because they're big and comfy because US.
Yeah, that's a yeah. Well, that's a California medium.
Yeah. Got him at Target.
Big fat guy.
I fucking love Target in the US, dude.
Dude, Target here is so depressing. Like, basically, Kmart killed one half of it and Big W killed the other. And so now there's just nothing in there except, like, really, really sad clothes you put on your adopted children.
Yeah.
Like, it's very depressing. Like, I made the mistake of going in there looking for a fucking power brick for mum because it was, like, the only, you know, one of those stores around. And it's just like, yeah, you're getting rid of everything that's not just sadness clothes.
Yeah. And dude, like, because when I stayed in Los Angeles, I was stayed just out of Los Angeles. That is, there was a Target nearby, right? And it's a 3-story Target, and they just have everything in there, and it's open 24 hours. They sell booze, they sell food. There's even a Domino's inside it. Like,
it is
it
nutty.
Just
like,
makes me upset.
Well, I mean, you know, it's one of those situations where it's like, you could have one of those in Brisbane, but there'd be one in the dead center of the fucking city, and like the fact is at 2 a.m. no one would be in there.
That's fine.
You know,
if it's as long as it's there, gives me that option.
Yeah. Like the thing about like the US versus Australia is we're like similar size, but like I think like 280 million less people.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
That's, you know,
population density is...
I know. It's just one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, that's not going to be there. Why? Because like one person will use it one night and then it'll just be like, you know.
For those overseas who are used to having stores just open, in Australia shit just shuts. It gets to about 5:30 and most specialty stores shut.
Which is kind of weird when you think about it.
Because they're specialty stores.
Well, like that and like, you know, they're open during work hours when everyone else is working. So it's like, who's shopping here? Like, I know why I'm there.
Yeah.
You know, because like, I work from home doing weird shit.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like, okay, that's, you know, I have an excuse. And again, like, it works great for bar stuff. Like, it was, you know, when you're doing bar work, it's just marvelous. It's like, oh, everything's always open and it's really convenient for me. Alright, where's that coming up? There we go. There we go.
I swear I need to get like hearing upgrades so I can like have positional hearing on ambulances. Because they always sneak up. They're hard to tell which way because they bounce off all the houses.
So we're taking this right if we're going back to mine.
Oh, yeah.
Let
me in, motherfucker.
Yeah,
Why is that girl still there?
That's a good and upsetting question because I think she's got some. She has a beverage now, so maybe.
So she maybe crossed the street to get lunch and then is.
I fucking hope, because when we came by here earlier, there was this girl and she seemed to have some kind of slight disability with the legs, and so she was walking a bit slowly, and she was standing at that traffic light when we went to Eddie's Retro, and then on our way back, she's still just sort of standing there. I'm not 100%. I'm pretty sure the drink is new. So
I think it was. Yeah.
I mean, because I don't like the idea of just like driven past some girl who may have some kind of disorder who seems to be trapped in a traffic island.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do about that.
No. Not a lot, really. Not a lot.
Excuse me, ma'am. Are you in need of assistance?
I love that there's a little bus stop to the right, and it's got its own little, like, roof.
It's a little hut.
And it's a hut. Like...
It's very nice.
You'll see it as we drive
They're
past.
still around.
There we go. And I just like that it's got leaves, and it's like gutters are stopping up, because who's going to clean that? Who comes and cleans the bus stop hut?
I'm assuming the fucking council guy that comes around and does the other, empties the bins and the other stops. That is that's a very fancy little bus stop. The other ones are quite modern. There's like a roof and a big piece of advertising and all that kind of garbage. Whereas that one's kind of like, I could imagine one of the more whimsical Miyazaki characters living there.
If you sit at the bus stop at exactly 2:03 a.m., you'll get transported into a magical realm.
You get to meet the cat bus, which is fucking more body horror than I think people like, because
everyone loves it. Oh, the cat bus, yay! And like when you really think about it,
no, yeah, because like I think Totoro was like one of the last fucking Miyazaki movies I've seen. Like, and I've only seen it once, and I barely remember it. And it's like, everyone goes on about it, but like, I'm not saying it's bad or anything, but I mean the cat bus is just creepy looking. You know, it's like, oh yeah, what about like cat? That's also a bus you get into. And it's like, ugh. That just sounds horrible. Like, I could imagine it was a giant cat you rode, and it maybe had, like, a sort of seating arrangement strapped to it, like a kind of backpack.
Here in Australia, we have the Dave bus. It's just this dude named Dave. I hollowed out. Get in him.
Get in, Dave. I don't want to.
Too bad.
Yeah.
And, like, the walls would be, like, sinewy.
Yeah, or
like,
yeah, like when the cat does that thing where it kind of like, bunches its fur up a little bit, does that like make the inside of the cat bus like writhe? Because I don't want to be in a writhing bus. No. Again, this is getting into lists of things that I find just horrifying.
If our society starts revolving around worms or maggots, I'm out.
I'm okay with them being like where we get like fucking McDonald's patties from.
Oh, if I don't see it.
Yeah, like there's...
But I'm talking about like you walk it up to a door and it's just made of maggots. It goes...
Oh. I mean, I feel like that's probably like a notch or two off yet.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I can understand
who knows, we might discover some sort of weird symbiote worm that just comes out.
I can understand someone making a McDonald's burger out of like maggots, but I think sewing a bunch together to make like a bead curtain out of them is like a challenge.
It's almost like infrastructure pays for itself over time.
Yeah.
Crazy that.
In an era of progress, all a right-wing government is a yoke around the neck of civilization. See, this is nice. When it's actually, like, just rolling. Like...
It's very rare.
Everyone appears to be going, like, a sane speed limit. No one's just indicating crazily. There hasn't been a weird...
You realize that, right?
Yeah, there hasn't been a weird lane ninja.
And up here live the cranes.
The cranes.
Because we drive this way a lot. It's just up the highway. And there was just one crane here one day. Now there's 3.
That's what happens.
And I feel that is way too many cranes in a short space. Because it doesn't seem to be a crane yard, you know what I mean?
At night, they fuck. According to the crude drawings that I myself draw. I got my first scooter from a place just down here.
Scooter hut?
Yeah. And then fortunately they opened a Brisbane location, so I got my second scooter from the one that is close to my house. And
Scooter?
not the fuck out here in the middle of buttfuck. Because getting out here on a bus was a bit of a cunt.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like a bit of a cunt, but it's just like, I don't like going outside my bubble on public transport.
I just don't like public transport.
I like my bubble. I like living in a little pocket that I don't have to I have no real cause to fucking leave. It's convenient.
I love how, COVID and all this sort of stuff. Guess what we had on the weekend just gone?
What?
State of Origin. So we packed everyone into Suncorp Stadium and probably passed around some diseases.
Yeah, it's probably it was probably a fucking inopportune time to be having that.
Yeah.
Because again, it was close there for a sec. We almost pulled it out in spite of, like, you know, everything. In spite of the fucking, you know, vaccine bullshit.
Good work, Gladys. I love Gladys going like, Melbourne is fucked up, all this shit, you guys suck. And then they were like, see, we don't have to go into lockdown if you manage it properly. Next week, we're going into lockdown. Fucking dumb shit.
Like, there are ways to not go into lockdown, but it would require a level of test and trace that Australia does not have the fucking, you know...
It might require some vaccines that were supposed to be passed around in April.
Supposed to be done by April.
We'll have, what, 80% of the population vaccinated by May? Was it the estimate or something?
So it was
something stupid, and then it was like, what, was it 4%?
It was like 2%.
Yeah.
Like, because, you know, South Korea has a very comprehensive quarantine test and trace.
So does North Korea. You just die. You get thrown in a cell and you die, and the COVID's gone.
Yeah, resolves itself somehow. And if there was that here, then yeah, we could like, rather than have like broad lockdowns, we could have very narrow ones because we could actually work out where shit is. But I mean, now there's like one app that you scan for the fucking, you know, trace. For a while there was 3. It's like, well, what one am I using?
Yeah, that's stupid.
It's like, and you know, we don't have, you know, sensible fucking medical infrastructure because why spend money on stuff?
That's a big problem from government, basically from the past 20 years or so, is nearly every single election they axe more medical stuff. And it's like, guys.
So they can like maintain a series of knowingly failed economic policies about giving tax cuts to the extremely wealthy, and still look like again, they, you know, it's the only thing a conservative government can do. Because, like, well, what are they going to do? Hey, yeah, we're going to make things better. Oh, how? Well, by not changing anything, really. Oh, okay. Things aren't great, though. Yeah, you know.
Well, they're not worse.
Yeah, well, we manage the economy well. And it's like, oh, how do you do that? It was like, well, you know, we make it so people will, like, you know, make businesses by not, you know, charging any, you know, sensible sort of taxes, and it'll trickle down. I was like, oh, that thing that doesn't work. It's like, oh, it does. Who says that? I don't know, like 4 guys we know.
And the rich get richer.
So I was like, well, what can they do? What can they promise? We're going to make things better. In what way? You know, like, that was the thing. Like, you know, the one good thing about, like, the, you know, federal government of Australia is it's fundamentally cowardly. Like, so that was a positive, because that meant that when shit got really fucked at the beginning of last year, they were like, you know, all right, yeah, we actually have to have, like, because, you know, in America they got, like, I think $1,200 once. You know, that was just it. Whereas, like, here, we got that a fortnight for, like, 8 months.
Someone stole my money.
Yeah. And, you know, they did that because, like, they didn't want anyone to realize what, like, fucking, you know, how low, like, fucking welfare actually was. You know, and again, you know, there were people that they at least ostensibly, you know, care about that might wind up, you know, requiring that assistance. And so they just buckled, you know.
I miss Kevin Rudd.
It's
annoying to see him, like, out of it now, and how fiercely just intelligent and just everything about him. Like, it's just like, that would have been...
Well, again, even fucking, you know... Oh, God, what's his name? Malcolm Turnbull. You know, like, he was a dick in a lot of ways, but he had a functioning brain, and that's why the fucking party got rid of him.
Yeah.
It was like, actually, like, you know, things like climate change are sort of an issue. And,
well, we'll get someone who doesn't think that now. Good work.
Well, no, again, it's like, we're going to make things better. How? Oh, by not changing anything. They're going to have, like, coal and stuff, and that's good.
Coal is good. Let's keep mining our country.
You know, sweaty pustule of a Nationals minister.
Is coal still our, like, highest export?
I don't think so. Like, it's not even the biggest part of our fucking economy. Like, that's the
Why
funniest thing about
Why we
Australia.
drive it so hard then?
Well, because there are a few people who make a lot of money off of it, and they donate a lot of money to, you know, chuds like Barnaby Joyce, and so that's it.
So what you're saying is we need to go into politics to start getting bribes.
Oh yeah, like I've been sitting around thinking about starting the complete and utter raving loony party again. Just.
How, like, what does it take to make a party?
Oh, fuck all.
Like, could you and I just go in and be like, we're a party now?
Well, you need like some signatures and a few other things. Like, it's not like you just sort of go in and moon them and they go, all right, yeah, off you go, champ. But like,
party.
there are lots of, like, Australia has lots of like kind of, because we have like a preferential voting system. So
Run!
What's he running for? Australia has lots of like, you know, very, very minor parties that don't expect to win. But what they do is, with the votes they get, they can influence policy.
Yeah.
So, like, people can say, all right, Dave's a cunt party got like 30 votes.
Right.
And then the Dave's okay party got like 2. So it's like, all right, we need to have Dave's a cunt policies. We need to be thinking about that because there are obviously people who think Dave's a cunt. So you'll get loads of like, you know, there'll be like the fishing and shooting party.
Right.
The motorists enthusiast party. Like, there's lots and lots and lots of these things.
Like, but why do these things start? Like, what's the goal?
Well, again, like, you know, with preferential voting, there are minor, you know, there's like if you can kind of make progress in terms of policy direction.
Right.
Because again, like, you know, if, say, you know, a party wants to win a seat, but, you know, your Fuck Dave party is like drawing some votes, they might want to appeal to you by going, yeah, fuck Dave.
Okay. I see.
And that's sort of...
So all I'm hearing is we should start a political party.
Yeah, I mean, like...
Because, like, we can get signatures. Do they have to be
Probably.
local signatures?
I mean, I think so. Like, I know, like, I've never actually sat down and looked into it, because...
We can just get signatures. We can forge them. We'll just, like, get them from pets who've died. Go to the graveyard, just write some names down.
Probably won't even be the stupidest fucking thing to happen this week.
No.
My Tuesday cheat day. I get to eat gobs of KFC. It's one of the little pleasures. It's important to take those in life. It's important just not to do this every day.
Oh, yes.
That's what makes it okay.
It's important for me not to do it at all.
So you can't digest it.
I shat a whole piece of chicken. It actually I ate it original, came out hot and spicy.
It's like, it's nuts. It's like rolling an orange down a didgeridoo. Just comes straight out.
I want to make a potato can.
So do I. I remember reading about those and like...
Hi there, could I please grab 9 pieces of hot and spicy?
Yeah, we have anything else for today?
That's all, thanks.
Awesome, 10.95, just as you.
Mango.
It's funny because I don't see them advertise the 9-piece box anywhere anymore.
They don't.
Yeah, but they also will never deny it because...
We're lucky because we're in Queensland, which
Yeah.
is a different branch of KFC. It's franchise.
Yeah.
Because they don't
KFC
have
Queensland's
this deal.
are like their own fiefdom.
They don't have this deal anywhere else in Australia.
Yeah.
But Queensland.
Like, they are, in some weird way, technically connected, but also they're their own... They're really
But
their
on the
own
other
entity.
side, we don't get the vouchers.
Yeah. Well, we get 9 pieces for like $10, which is a good deal.
If you want pieces, though, you know.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I see deals pop up and like they're like, oh, you don't get shitloads of nuggets and stuff for. And I'm like, motherfuckers.
Hey, you want a whole bucket of nuggets?
I do, you know, I do. I just want to eat them and watch them. I can't eat them all.
Bucky Nuggy? I mean, I can't eat that much. We already went through this.
No, I think you can. You just got to not drink water while doing it and fuel up on the sauces.
I can't.
Because you
I
were
can't
just
want to
pounding that
live.
water,
I was thirsty.
which was just taking that breading and just.
I mean, that's the trick, though. All those things where it's just like, yeah, eat this big steak. It's like, also, you have to eat, like, the loaf of bread that we give you as well. It's like, look, you just... You know, I can eat vast quantities of meat. And I do.
No, that's fine.
Because I am a great big beef monster.
Thank you.
Kind of sprained my wrist a little bit, which sort of sucks.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Can't fucking...
My wrist just doesn't work, so you're lucky.
I can't even move it quickly, so I can't go to training, which fucks me off. It's just starting to get back to it. And it's like the right's the one I need work on being loose, you know, because I tend to be a bit stiff.
Thank you.
I tend to be a bit stiff on the reverse hand.
Mm.
I gotta let it loosen up a little bit.
Yeah, my nerves are just fucked. Like from just all up there to my shoulders and my neck. It's lovely. I gotta get an X-ray / MRI of my wrist, but like I get like super anxiety about going to the doctors at the moment, so it's a bit hard.
Just get high as shit.
That makes it worse, dude.
So you're so high that the MRI can see little weed leaves in your blood.
It's not like I don't mind getting the procedures done and stuff. It's just I have.
Yep.
Sorry. How about you not walk out? Like that's the thing. That guy walked out
From behind a big fucking...
behind a truck, and we nearly ran him over because he just walked out.
You should peek your head a little bit. That's what I do.
Because I understand that it's a pedestrian crossing,
But it's not
I
a
can't
shield.
see
Yeah,
you.
right, that's...
And a lot of pedestrians just do that. They'll just walk without looking, and it's like, motherfucker, some cars won't stop. You will get ran down.
You know, won't or can't. Like, it's just... It isn't a shield.
Yeah. You have a responsibility as well to watch.
Well, I've, like, you know, again, like, the amount of times I've been nearly hit by fucking cars because cars don't indicate. And it's just like, so now I've got, like, an almost fucking sixth sense for it's just like, I bet you're turning, even though you're not indicating.
It's
Yeah,
so
there we
weird.
go.
Because if you go to San Diego, like in the city, they don't have, like, light crossings.
It's just...
You just walk.
No.
Because cars will stop for you.
Oh, okay.
And it's just like...
Yeah, there's areas like that in Australia.
And it's just that's just mind-blowing to me. It's just like, I don't want to die. Where's the thing that keeps me safe? You know, the beep, 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 beep.
Where's the thing that at least, like, gives people a heads up? You know?
Yeah. Because there's like signs going, hey, this is like a walking crossing. And I was like, oh, okay. What if someone's visiting the town they don't know?
Yeah, that would be weird for me.
Run
Be
you
like,
down?
Yeah, where's my little stop? Just...
Because,
So,
yeah, I was walking with two people and we approached a curb. I stopped. They just kept going. And I'm like, excuse me? Just witnessing cars stop for them. And I'm like,
That's unsafe.
this place is nuts. San Diego was really good. I liked San Diego.
I was in San Francisco.
San Fran. Sandy
I'm
Franny.
assuming I'm San Fine. I'm assuming like they're not that close.
San Francisco and San Diego?
Yeah, I
No,
think San
I
Diego
don't
is
think
more
so.
south of you or something, isn't it?
San Diego is about, I think it was about 40 minutes flight from LA.
South or north? Who
East,
cares?
I think.
All right. It was nice. I enjoyed it. The place is kind of nuts. Like, getting on the fucking freeway there and having locals talk about how, oh yeah, we call this the maze. It's like, it's just this almost Warner Brothers cartoon level labyrinth of like fucking concrete and bitumen. And all the signage that you need is like a fraction of a second before you actually have to take the turn. It's like, yeah, you can just get on a bit and it's like, you're going somewhere now.
Yeah. USA highways scared me. They were fucking scary.
Like, where? I was like, well, I guess we'll be out in Berkeley. Oh, okay. Berkeley was nice.
Did you meet Burke?
Burke, feed me. No, I went to a record store in Berkeley and there was like a surprisingly good Laserdisc selection.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's like a lot of Laserdiscs. I was like, actually this sort of makes
It
sense.
was more of a Laserdisc country, That stuff was more around.
Yeah.
Whereas in Australia, it's like...
One guy, yeah, it was like that weird uncle that like doesn't have any kids.
I'm pretty sure I had an uncle who had Laserdisc.
Yeah, it's just like, I'm going to spend all my money on cutting edge media technologies that will unfortunately line up in the 80s, so all of it's kind of still a bit shit.
Yeah.
It's like, I have a really, really huge CRT TV. Oh.
Dude, you know what's fucking nuts? VHS. Because I was watching a dude on YouTube who was like going, what was VHS quality actually like?
Dude too.
And he had Back to the Future on Blu-ray, and then he had an original VHS copy that he'd bought, and it was still sealed of Back to the Future on VHS.
Wow.
And then he also recorded his Blu-ray one onto a VHS. And like the quality, and just the astounding thing is when he opened up his like VHS to clean it and everything, and you see the way the heads move and stuff inside, that technology was insane.
It is weird, like, because there's like crazy shit like the angled fucking drum that rubs against the tape to let you see shit. And then you combine that with like just like fucking this Meccano bullshit that's there to like stretch the tape out and stuff, and it's like this bizarre combination of like future magneto technology.
I love
and
it.
then
Like
just
if you
old-timey
looked
crap.
inside at that compared to a DVD player, you'd think the tape player is something newer.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. The DVD player uses lasers, which is pretty rare.
But you can't see that, you know, when it's
Yeah, I
open.
suppose.
Whereas the VHS, you see it all, the moving part, the drum, everything.
Laser disc.
There's something still I find romanticized about VHS.
Well, I mean, like, it lasted a while, you know?
It really did.
Like, because the formats just, you know, there was like VHS and then DVD and then, you know, Blu-ray, which is really kind of like just an extension of DVD, you know?
And HD DVD.
Yeah. Like, you know, it's okay, it's like there's a bit of difference to the technology and the shit holds more, and it's like, oh, that's all good and whatnot.
Remember Red Ray? Red Ray was supposed to be the Blu-ray killer.
Is that real?
Yeah, Red Rays are real. I believe it was something to do with sustainability / the technology is too expensive. And just, Blu-ray just made the advances they needed.
Well, even Blu-ray lasers are like, because I remember like seeing things about how you can make those lasers that pop balloons by getting like Blu-rays.
Yeah. It kind of plays into it, sort of that coating on it.
Yeah.
Which is nuts, because I remember when Blu-rays first came out, and they are very hard to scratch. Like the old original Blu-rays, they're a bit easier now as the medium got cheaper to manufacture, but that shit was nearly scratch-proof.
They're still so expensive. Like, you know, a video game I can play more than once. You know, there's not a lot of movies I'm going to watch more than once.
God, no.
Or at least, you know, within like a fucking, you know, year.
Yeah.
Like, I'll rewatch some stuff from time to time. I mean, mostly the stuff I rewatch is stuff I watched a long time ago.
Yeah, and I don't pay
I'll look
attention
at
to
with
it
my
100% as well.
Yeah.
Like, I'll just have it on and kind of watch it, but also playing on my phone.
I mean, I watched Beyond Reanimator last night, which
What is that?
I hadn't seen. It's the third Reanimator film. So there's it's based on like one of Lovecraft's stories.
Right.
So the inimitable Jeffrey Combs plays fucking, oh god, now I've forgotten his name, Herbert something, not Lovecraft, and he's like fucking basically invented this. It's kind of like a zombie movie basically. Right. So he's invented this shit called reagent, which will reanimate dead tissue.
Okay.
But the problem is like the brain don't come back, so you wind up with like basically a zombie.
Yeah. Okay.
So there's Reanimator, which is like, you know, so, like they're B movies, but they're still good. Like they're good B movies. Then there's Bride of Reanimator, and then there's Beyond Reanimator, which takes place in a prison, and does have a guy get his penis bit off, and then a rat that might have a people brain takes the penis.
Great.
Yeah. Like, there's some... It's one of those things where it's like, because, you know, you can behead the zombies, but they're still alive and shit like that. So there's like, you know, they're not like what you'd call Resident Evil, sort of your classic zombie rules. It's a little bit more into the Return of the Living Dead rules.
Gotcha.
Where, you know, a hand can still just be alive by
Yeah.
itself.
Yeah.
So, you know, they kind of lean into a bit of the you know, beyond simply the horror effects, the sort of shock component to it. So there's some more conceptual grotesqueries. Like Beyond Reanimator had like a junkie character in it, and then he just sees like a guy's trying to sneak out with like these syringes full of like, you know, glow stick goo, because as the reagent's like this fucking glowing green shit. And he's just like, fuck yeah, drugs. So he steals like 4 of them, he's just injecting himself, and then like, because it's supposed to reanimate dead tissue, I didn't even know it had been injected into a live person in the film series up to this point. So I was like, oh, I wonder what it's going to do. And so at the end, he sort of just inflates a little bit and then just explodes a bunch. Ooh. But then because he's full of this shit, he just like, his entire front half is just like exploded. So he's just like this skeleton with like some dude still attached. And it's a good gore effect. And like, but he's still alive. And he's still a junkie. So he just gets up and goes, hey man, you got anything else in that bag? Even though he's like this fucking like, you know.
Skeletons need drugs, man.
Up, yeah. Well, he's like, you can see that like, it's like, the front of him got hit with like a fucking belt sander real hard. Ew. Yeah, like again, it's you know the aim is to horrify through grotesque mutations of the body.
Keep It Classy is proudly sponsored completely by its fans. We thank you for your support.
It expanded somehow. Have you know